Hey, it's Jordan. Delighted to be joined by Holly Bradley. You are doing some activism with West Virginia Rising. And on Saturday, there is a blockade planned outside of Joe Manchin's coal operation. Reminder, Joe Manchin owns a coal company while serving as the chairman of the Senate Energy Committee, only in the United Corporations of America. So can you kind of describe what the action is? Because I know hundreds of people are already signed up. What is the blockade? Is it for a day, longer than that? What are the plans?
So the blockade, it's starting Saturday at 2 p.m. and there will be kind of like two different teams, folks that aren't willing to risk arrest. And so we're calling that the green team and the red team. And so we'll have folks that are willing to risk arrest blockading the entrance to the Granttown power plant. And we're hoping that this can kind of spark a fire and that folks will see the media coverage of this event and maybe come and join us. So, it has the potential to be a sustained action.
Mhm. And what are with the blockade some demands the group is making against Senator Manchin?
I mean, basically, this action is all about shedding light on the fact that people who profit from fossil fuels should not be the people that are making our climate legislation. And so that is the main thing. Like, one of the demands is like, Senator Manchin, don't take money from fossil fuel executives anymore if you want to remain the chairperson for uh, the Natural Resource Energy Commission.
And let me ask you, because the media puts out this narrative that, well, Manchin has to act this way. He has to be quote unquote centrist or moderate because he represents West Virginia, and Trump won West Virginia by a lot. I've been to West Virginia a few times. I know West Virginia has a rich tradition of populism, of unions, and West Virginia really shifted right basically in the last decade or so. So can you talk to me the actual reality on the ground? Uh, I feel like people in West Virginia really wanted Build Back Better and really would love raising the minimum wage, taxes on billionaires, all the things he says he can't do because it's not supported in West Virginia.
Right, right. Um, One point that I like to make when folks talk about this is like the United Mine Workers of America vocally expressed support for the Build Back Better Act. They want it passed. They want to see their coal communities taken care of. We want the coal miners taken care of. There were provisions in the Build Back Better to extend the black lung excise tax to take care of the coal miners who have been, injured working in the coal mines. And Senator Manchin right now could give them a laundry list of all the amazing things he wants for West Virginia and for coal miners and for coal communities, and they would give him anything. And he's just not, because he's not actually for the coal miners, he's for the coal companies.
Right.
And that's the big difference.
And can you kind of talk about just the people that are going to be part of this blockade? I'm sure a lot of those people are from West Virginia. Talk about right now, because we're hearing all this puff about the historic economic recovery and a booming economy from President Biden. Manchin has really been talking about inflation, but I go around talking to people. Doesn't seem so booming to me. It seems booming for the wealthy. And it seems like an economic Hunger Games for folks like you and others in West Virginia. Can you kind of talk about what are the conditions on the ground that you're dealing with? Obviously, the inflation, but other struggles.
Well, I mean, there are immense struggles for the people of West Virginia. In order for me to be able to do this interview, I had to drive 15 minutes away from my house to get internet that is not great.
Right.
And there's also like a big lack in, I think there's 7 counties in West Virginia that have no childcare facilities. there are a lot of things that were in the Build Back Better Act that the people of West Virginia would have really benefited from.
Right.
Yeah. Sorry, did that answer the question?
Absolutely. And can you kind of talk about, obviously, this blockade you're hoping gets media attention? Do you expect Senator Manchin to respond? Because from other West Virginians I've spoken with, they have, if they're lucky, gotten a response at times from his office, but have not gotten much feedback from him, who says that, he's for the people of West Virginia. Do you expect, or is one of your demands for him to directly talk to the activists that will be blockading the coal company?
I don't think that's one of the demands. I would be shocked if that actually happened. I'm sure we'll get some kind of statement, but I highly doubt that there will be any back and forth conversation between us and Senator Manchin.
Got it. And what does it say in light of the struggles you're having? Manchin is claiming we can't do these things. We don't want to move the country too far left, as he's rolling around in his Maserati and on his boat yacht in DC. Seems like, cake for me, crumbs for you. And this is the responsible way of legislating.
Right, right. I think it's easy to hide behind a fiscal responsibility when you've never had to experience the struggles that the rest of West Virginians have experienced. Senator Manchin is from West Virginia, but he's, he grew up well off. His family is a predominant family in West Virginia and always has been. And so he hasn't experienced firsthand the struggles that the people of West Virginia suffer on a daily basis.
Right. And can you kind of talk about, Paula Jean Swearingen challenged him in 2018, lost, but did decent. Then she won the nomination for the Senate as a Democrat in 2020. But according to her other sources, the Democratic Party did absolutely nothing to support her candidacy once she was the nominee. They barely even let her spoke at events. She lost to the Republican. Do you think if the Democratic Party actually embraced populism, ideas like Medicare for all, I think we need like a $25 minimum wage, but let's say $15 minimum wage there, actually, ending fossil fuels or dramatically curbing away from fossil fuels, even in West Virginia, with a transition jobs for coal miners and things like that. Do you think that could actually be successful in West Virginia and make up for a lot of the cultural conservatism, even attract those voters who might be more culturally conservative, but economically are hurting?
Right. I think so. I think people like to say that West Virginia is full of a bunch of Trump people, but also Bernie Sanders did really well in West Virginia because he was offering things that the people of West Virginia really need. And so I think it's important to remember that. And I think if somebody was, when you talk to West Virginians about the Build Back Better Act, if you don't call it the Build Back Better Act, they're all about it. When you talk about the issues, the things that are in it, the ways that it will help, the investments that it has, people are willing to listen. They're willing to, be receptive. But it's that knee jerk, oh, it's a Biden thing, I don't like it, I don't want Build Back Better, But if you
Right.
actually have a conversation with the people and let them know what is in it and how it will help, they're usually pretty supportive.
Absolutely. And lastly, if there was a really shocking event and Manchin showed up at this thing or even spoke with you, you get him one-on-one. What's your message to Manchin as far as he's making plenty of money, reportedly $5 million over his time as a senator from this coal company? There's been other reports that he's basically a lot of corrupt deals behind this coal company, and electricity rates going up for the West Virginian residents because of this coal company he owns due to corrupt deals and things like that. What would be your message directly to him?
I think my message would be to deliver for the people of West Virginia. Like I said, he can literally give them a laundry list of the things that he wants for West Virginia right now, and people would give it to him. They want him to vote yes on this anti-inflation reconciliation bill that it's now being called, and he could do what Senator Byrd did and make sure that West Virginia is taken care of. And I also think, I think the people of West Virginia deserve to know that their electricity bills are higher in order to keep one power plant open, and the rhetoric is like green power, green energy is so much more expensive, but it's literally the opposite. We are spending extra money to keep these old coal plants running just to make a couple people richer.
Right.
So
absolutely. Thank you, Holly Bradley. We'll be watching this blockade. I really, really hope it gets big enough. Maybe I'll have to get down to West Virginia.
Come down.
Absolutely. Thanks so much for taking the time. Where can people find out more about the blockade?
At westvirginiarising.org, spelled out, no abbreviations.
Great. Okay. Take care. Be safe.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching, and make sure to tune in to Status Coup's daily live stream Monday through Thursday at 5 o'clock Eastern Time and Fridays at 4 o'clock Eastern Time.